Look out, ladies and gentlemen, there's a train coming through. That's right, it's the Nintendo Download Express. The first installment here. I'm your host, Jeff Gerstmann. Very happy to be here. Starting out this brand new podcast where we can talk about the exciting new releases on WiiWare and DSware, and in the relatively near future here, 3DSware. I know it's a far-flung future here. We've got a handful of releases, and I can't wait to get into them. This is going to be a banner week. I just know it. All right, starting out with WiiWare. Doc Clock, the toasted sandwich of time from Stickmin Studios. One player, rated E for everyone, 1,000 Wii points. Have you fallen off a cliff? Are you burning in lava? Did your latest invention just get crushed by a frozen polar bear? Avoid these misfortunes with Doc Clock's amazing Time Slider. Enjoy the first Doc Clock time-traveling adventure. Invent almost anything using the items you find, from catapults to incredible flying machines. Travel through time with Doc Clock as he battles mad, misguided robots to save his beloved cat and invent the perfect toasted sandwich machine. Wow, that does sound intense. Next up, Urbanix from Nord Current. 1 to 2 players, rated E for everyone, 500 Wii points. Welcome to Urbanix, a game inspired by classic computer games. You play as Urbanix, a tiny little tractor that has to build a town on an empty field. Avoid enemies and chase away house crashers. They will try to spoil your game. Play on Earth, in the North Pole, or on the Moon. Each location has its own unique gameplay mechanics, so you'll have to adapt your strategy. Because the North Pole is clearly not on the Moon. Be accurate, be quick, and collect bonuses on your way. Enjoy 150 levels plus an intense multiplayer mode. All right, that's... Wow, okay. Also, we've got Bit Trip Beat demo version, which, we all know what this is, but, this podcast hasn't necessarily covered it, so we should probably... Bit Trip Beat from Axis Games, 1 to 4 players, rated E for everyone, 0 Wii points. This is the demo version we're talking about here, folks. If you want the full version, 600 Wii points. The retro action of rhythm game Bit Trip Beat, in all caps and italicized, challenges you to use the Wii Remote TM controller to bounce beats. Retro visuals, classic gameplay, a 4-player multiplayer mode, and an 8-bit soundtrack will get you in the zone and rock your world. Pay attention, though. As with most classic games, the challenges are mighty. If you can stay cool as the difficulty increases, you'll discover the beginnings of the Bit Trip saga. All right, that's it for WiiWare. But that's not all. We do have some DSiWare. So if you've got that handheld jobby, it's time for Glory Days Tactical Defense from Odenis Studio, all lowercase. Indie. 1 player, rated E10+, mild violence, 200 Nintendo DSi points. Howling sandstorms blaze across the barren plains. A violent storm is brewing on the horizon. Get ready to repel waves of enemies amid the finely orchestrated chaos. As the ground trembles, artillery is being massed in the distance. If you're outnumbered, move your units to high ground for a strategic advantage. Use your AAA to shoot down enemy planes, fight off tanks with your guns, and sink subs with your missile launchers. Master the battlefield by using the Big One. In quotes. Capital Big. Capital B, capital O. A gun that will terrify and cause devastation among all units, enemies and friends alike. Expect your units to suffer losses under enemy fire. Repair and improve them because the show must go on. When the dust settles, you may have attained glory, even if the battle is lost. Special features include 3D field management, a 60 frames per second 3D engine, dynamic music, and up to 300 units in real time. Animal Boxing. Animal Boxing from Gamic Entertainment. 1 to 2 players, E10+, 800 Nintendo DSi points. Animal Boxing is one of the first games to require players to invert the Nintendo DSi system. Use the stylus for motion-based controls. Throw jabs, hooks, and uppercuts with simple stylus movements. Step into the ring against 50 wild fighters with different fighting styles. Go toe-to-toe against opponents such as Lee the Cat, Sauda the Rhino, and For the Bull. It's F-O-R-E. For the Bull. He's a golfer, probably. Build your own male or female character, then step into the ring in 8 unique environments. Customize fighter attributes like gloves, clothing, and hairstyle. Face off against another Nintendo DSi player using a local wireless connection. That works out great because then you're both standing around holding your DSi upside down, which that's not awkward. The Cellar from Circle Entertainment. 1 player, rated E for everyone, 500 Nintendo DSi points. Once a big-time boss, you are now down and out. Forced into the small time after your company was driven into bankruptcy by an underhanded competitor who stooped lower than even you would dare. It's not really speaking highly of your business tactic. Of course, revenge is a dish best served cold. Over a drink at an expensive club, which is where the game takes place. Rebuild your fortune and show your competitor who's really the boss. It's Tony Danza. This is a witty card game with a few simple rules to test your intelligence. Starting with a small amount of resources, money, and action cards, try to use those cards to cunningly step forward until you have sold all of your resources to others. Set strategies in motion to increase the value of your resources. Don't forget, your ultimate goal is to introduce your competitors to bankruptcy. It's rated E for everyone. So it takes place in an expensive club. You are the seller, and you're selling resources. I wonder what those resources are. One to think about, folks? That's got to be just like Drug Wars translated into but then it says you're selling snow and marshmallows and methamphetamines. I don't. Alien Puzzle Adventure. This one will round out the DSiWare from Mastertronic, a name I have not heard in quite a long time. I didn't realize that there was still a Mastertronic. 1 player, E for everyone, 500 Nintendo DSi points. Alien Puzzle Adventure is a fast-paced, colorful, and cartoonish puzzle game that combines match-3 gameplay with a humorous and quirky storyline. The player sets out to save the world from a mysterious chemical attack. Armed with Professor Weinstein's pseudo-quark generator gun, the player must neutralize packs of differently colored quarks over the course of 35 stages by matching 3 quarks of the same color. Can you help stem the tide and save the world? Your adventure starts today! And that's it for Nintendo DSi downloads. The DSiWare, of course, huge this week. This week being the week of January 17th, 2011, I should say. And, of course, a huge week for WiiWare. Actually, I'm going to say, Doc Clock, the toasted sandwich of time, sounds at least clever. At least somewhat clever. That, of course, does not mean I'm going to play it, but there you go. Of course, we are going to be taking questions on this podcast. It wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't, I think, without interaction from you, the rampant, rabid fan of Nintendo system downloads. So why don't we start with a topic? How about that? What I want to know for next week is... what sort of games do you want to see on the 3DS for downloads? What do you want 3DSware to be? Given the amazing track record we've seen on WiiWare and DSiWare, I can think of some real bangers that I would like to see make that transition into 3D. Or maybe you want to see something entirely new, So let's hear it. Our email address is ndx@bxr.me. That's right, ndx@bxr.me. We want to see your emails, so send them on in. And that's going to do it for this week. Again, January 17th, 2011 is the week. Today is actually the 18th. It's a Tuesday. I'm cold. I'm going to turn on the heater. We'll see you next week. The train is pulling out the station, people. Yeah! Woo-woo!